All right, good evening, everyone. This is Jason Ellis here, and did just want to go over a couple problems with you guys from the last session, and also that you'll be looking at for your Sunday submission, just to kind of make sure you guys understand what you're doing and you're not tricked by any of the information that's in the questions. By the end of this lesson, a learner should be able to calculate present value. We're going to go over, quite a bit of present value problems. You'll also be able to determine the price of a bond and also be able to calculate the cost of common equity of any particular company. All right, so we can go ahead and get right into it. The questions that I did select were the ones that I found gave you guys the most issues for your last week's submissions. So I did just want to go over those to make sure you understand it, because going forward, there's going to be some pretty important information here. So from Unit 3, Question 1, calculate the present value of a cash inflow of $500 in 1 year and a cash inflow of $1,000 in 5 years, assuming a discount rate of 15%. So right at the beginning, you'll see that, to calculate present value, what you'll want to do is divide the $500 by your discount rate of 15%, which would give you $434.78. You'll also do something very similar for the second one, for the second part of this problem. The only difference is the 1.15 is going to be to the fifth power because this is a 5-year inflow. So the calculation you'll get there is $497.18. And then simply from there, all you need to do is add those two numbers together, and you'll get the present value of $931.96. The next problem we're going to go over is question 3 from your assignment last week. What is the present value of a perpetual stream of annual cash flows of $100, with the first cash flow being received in 1 year, assuming a discount rate of 8%? This is a pretty straightforward problem. Looking at the information that you already have, you'll see that your cash flow is $100 and your discount rate is 8%. All you'll need to do is divide those numbers together, and you'll come up with a present value of $1,250. Just from going over the grades with this assignment, many of you put a little more thought into this problem than you really needed to. Pretty straightforward problem. 100 over 0.08, which is your discount rate, which gives you 1,250. The next problem, question 4. What is the present value of a perpetual stream of annual cash flows, with the first cash flow of $100 to be received in 1 year and all the subsequent cash flows growing at a rate of 3%, assuming a discount rate of 8%? Once again, this is the information that we were given. We know that our cash flow is $100. We know that our growth rate is 3%. And we know that our discount rate is 8%. Putting those numbers together, this is going to be a little different from the previous one. But essentially what you want to do is minus the discount rate from the growth rate. And then you want to divide that by the $100, which brings you to a present value of $2,000. All right, so now on to question 5. Consider 2 bonds, bond A and bond B. Both have the same coupon rate of 10% and a yield to maturity of 10%. Now, these are standard bonds with a semi-annual coupon. Bond A matures in 5 years. Bond B matures in 10 years. What is the price of each of these bonds? Once again, you'll see here the information that we have. The reason I is 5 is because you do have to remember that this is a semi-annual coupon, means that it's paid twice a year. We have our N, which is the number of years, 10 years in bond A, 20 years in bond B. And then we also know that a future value of a bond is always going to be 1,000. With a problem like this, I always recommend using the tools that you have. Putting this right into Excel does a very good job of giving you the answer pretty quickly without you having to do too much work. So putting that formula there right into any Excel spreadsheet, you'll find that both of these bonds are worth $1,000. Now on to question 6. Pretty much a continuation of our previous problem. Consider the bonds we worked with in question 5. Suppose those interest rates were to decline, causing the yield to maturity of each bond to immediately decline to 9%. What is the new price of each of these bonds? Once again, remember that this is a semi-annual yield to maturity. The information we have at hand now, our I is changed to 4.5 because the yield to maturity did decline to 9%. So our I is now 4.5. Our N's are the same, and our future value is also the same. Once again, make your life easier. Plug this right into Excel, and you'll find that bond A is worth $1,039.56, while bond B is worth $1,065.04. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and go into some of the problems that you're going to be working on for this week's submission. The benefit of watching this is that you'll actually see what the answers are to these particular problems. So you should have no problem with any of the problems that you'll be working with. So let's go right ahead to that. Starting with question 9. Fastest company common shares are currently trading at $30. It is expected that Fastest company will pay an annual common share dividend of $2 next year. It is also expected that the dividend will grow at a rate of 5% each year in perpetuity. Based on the constant growth dividend discount model, what is the fastest company cost of common equity? The information that we have on hand already, we do know that the dividend is $2. We know that fastest company is currently trading at $30. And we also know that the expected growth rate of the dividend is 5%. The equation for cost of common equity is the dividend divided by the price per share plus the growth that's expected per year. Plugging that information in, we end up with a cost of common equity of 11.67%. This will actually be the exact same equation that you're going to use for the next problem, for Unit 4, Question 10. So I'm not going to go over that one, but I will take you guys through Unit 4, Question 15, which is a little bit different. Still talking about fastest company. Suppose fastest company's current balance sheet show book value weights of 32% debt, 11% preferred shares, and 57% common equity. Assuming its cost of debt is 3%, the cost of preferred shares was 5%, and the cost of common equity was 9%. Estimate fastest company WACC. Once again, always best to start with the information that you have. And in the chart that you'll see there, you'll see that the debt, the cost of 3%, weight of 32%, which brings a weighted cost of 0.96. Preferred, 5% cost, 11% weight, weighted cost of 0.55%. Equity cost, 9%. Equity weight of 0.57, which brings a weighted cost of 5.13. All you'll need to do from there is take all three of those weighted costs, add them together, and you get 6.64% WACC. Once again, the very next problem, question 16 that you'll be submitting in, is very, very similar to this. So you should have no problem with getting that taken care of. So other than that, that is all I have for you guys this evening. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You guys have been doing a great job communicating on the class discussion board. Any questions or concerns you may have. So, definitely keep that up. Other than that, have a great night and have a great week.